Hi guys, I'm Chris and I've been a DJ for 14 years. 12 of those I've specialised in weddings. I suffer with severe anxiety, depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. I quite feasibly can be declared incapable for work. However, DJing for me has always been therapeutic. The happiness that even when I cannot feel an iota of happiness myself, that I can create on a dance floor is enough to help me see another day. I've been without that now for nearly 18 months. I could quite easily have been declared unfit for work and remain out of work since 2013. At that time, I was hospitalised and still managed to keep my career as a DJ. It saved me having to claim benefits. It allowed me to help heal myself, and it allowed me to bring happiness to others. Should the current restrictions on no dance floors remain in place, then I will no longer have a business to keep running. It has been very, very hard for me to come to this decision, and it's a very, very hard decision to make, but for my own mental health, I cannot carry on not knowing what's going to happen. I cannot live my life in blocks of 4 weeks, hoping and praying that the restrictions will be lifted. At weddings, people are careful. People understand that when they are invited to a wedding, that it costs a lot of money for them to be there, and as such remain well behaved throughout the entire event. In a pandemic, I understand that there needed to be restrictions to begin with until a suitable way to see who was carrying the virus and who wasn't was made available. That is now available through tests easily accessible for everyone. The vaccine rollout has covered over half the adults in the country so far, and that's increasing every single day. I myself received my second dose yesterday. But now I have to consider my own mental health. I have to consider maybe not going back to the job I love, to the business I worked so hard to build up. Because I cannot keep going the way things are. I have been prescribed antidepressants for a long time now. But at the start of this pandemic, I was prescribed 75 milligrams a day of venlafaxine. I'm now currently on 375 micrograms a day of venlafaxine and a further 150 milligrams of trazodone. The stress I have endured since March last year has left me at breaking point. I followed government advice from the start. I didn't leave my house unless I absolutely had to. I took a bounce back loan to diversify my business. I did that, and still, it's not enough. I am my business, and I cannot continue as things are. I've had to fight for help financially, because as a mobile DJ, I don't have business premises. I don't need them. They're an extra expense that my business doesn't need. I can conduct meetings in coffee shops, and I travel out to the venues in which I work. Months of fighting, and I was finally able to claim the additional restrictions grant. But with the losses my business has endured, and the debt that I am now in, keeping that business running, I cannot carry on running that business. I have loved every single moment of my career. I have seen and met some of the most amazing people, some people who have become friends for life. I've seen friendships created, I've seen relationships created. I've been there when couples have met. I've been there to help them celebrate their engagement. I've been there to help them celebrate their wedding. I've done the christenings of their children. And yet here I am now, someone who has brought so much happiness to the world, along with every other colleague in the wedding industry. But I can't continue. The only way to protect myself is to give up the business I love. I hope one day I can return to doing it, but right now I can't. I can't guarantee that I will be able to come back to it. I can't guarantee that under current restrictions that if I was to operate, there is a chance my equipment could be confiscated by the police. I can't afford a fine, and certainly can't afford to buy new equipment to replace it. I voted Conservative in the last election, as I have in previous elections, because I believed that the Conservatives were the party of small businesses. A party that would represent my interests as a small business that's created jobs before, had plans for further jobs, but now it's just completely unsustainable. So unless the restrictions tonight allow for dance floors at a wedding, whether people can make their own mind up, as with hugging or dancing at their tables, or if they aren't there and they aren't able to, then I have no business. I have fought back against my own mind every single day for as long as I can remember. I've brought happiness, consoled sadness. And now I have to walk away from all of that. Since March last year, I have spoken out as much as I can. I've campaigned with the amazing What About Weddings group, who I think my partner and my family must be incredibly grateful towards as much as I am, because their passion and their help throughout this time has kept me here. I still plan on remaining here, but I can't continue as things are currently. And the only thing that I can do right now is walk away. So please consider this when you make your decisions. Consider the stress and financial difficulty that this entire £14 billion industry has been put under. It's stressful, it's depressive, and it's traumatic. So please, those in government, ask the question, what about weddings?